By the time my stepmother realized what I'd done, she was standing barefoot in a half-furnished beach condo in Clearwater, Florida, surrounded by piles of shopping bags, receipts, and a half-drunk glass of cheap rosé. The fake tan was streaking down her neck, her extensions looked like roadkill, and that glossy, "I'm rich" smile had completely vanished. All the money she'd stolen from my inheritance was gone. Not taken from her, not lost, spent. And I let her do it. Every last swipe of that stolen card, every online order, every boozy girls' brunch she threw with my money, I let her have it all. Because I knew what was coming next. Revenge is sweeter when you season it with patience. And I let her marinate in delusion until it was tender enough to cut clean through. But to really understand why I let her spend it first, you've got to know who I am. I'm Hannah Clark, 28, born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. My mom passed away when I was 13, ovarian cancer, sudden and cruel. My dad, James, remarried 2 years later to a woman named Livia. You know the type. Too much perfume, too much hair, too little soul. She had this way of smiling at people while scanning their jewelry like she was mentally pricing everything they owned. At first, I thought she was just loud, Southern loud. But under the fake kindness and high heels, she was calculating. Always watching what people had, what she could take, how she could twist situations to look like the victim. Dad adored her. That was the worst part. He thought she was a breath of fresh air. I thought she was a damn hurricane with lip gloss. Before he passed, Dad told me he'd set aside a trust from the sale of his business. He said, "So you'll never have to struggle, Han. That money's yours, no one can touch it." Turns out, someone could. When Dad died of a heart attack 3 years later, Lydia turned into a full-blown drama queen. She showed up at the funeral in white, like some grieving angel, clutching a monogrammed handkerchief and milking sympathy like it was her full-time job. Then came the paperwork. When I went to the bank to access my trust, the manager looked uncomfortable. Ms. Clark, that account's already been distributed." Distributed to who? Guess. Lydia had filed emergency probate paperwork, claiming she was managing family finances and needed access to estate assets. I was 21, so she said I was financially inexperienced. I confronted her in the kitchen of our old house, the same kitchen where my dad used to make Sunday pancakes. She sipped her wine and said, "Hannah, sweetie, I'm only protecting what your father built. He trusted me with it. You wouldn't know how to manage that kind of money yet." My hands were shaking. That's my inheritance. She laughed, an actual laugh, and said, "Oh, honey, don't make this ugly." Ugly? She stole my future and told me not to make it ugly. I left that night and swore I'd never speak to her again. For a while, I didn't. I got a job staging luxury homes, saved up, and slowly rebuilt my life. But karma's slow, not silent. 4 years later, she called me out of nowhere. Her voice was tight, desperate. "Hannah, baby, I need your help. Someone scammed me." Apparently, Lydia had met some smooth-talking entrepreneur named Gerald on a yacht club dating app. He promised her investment opportunities and vacations in the Bahamas. What she got instead was a wiped-out account and a foreclosure notice on her precious beach condo. She drained everything, my savings, my portfolio, gone. "Oh, no," I said, deadpan. "Not your portfolio." She didn't catch the sarcasm. That's when it hit me. This was my opening. I told her I could help. I said I knew someone in financial recovery. A contact from my staging business who specialized in recovering stolen funds. Lydia latched on immediately, like a drowning woman grabbing a fake life preserver. "Thank you, sweetheart. You always had your daddy's heart." Yeah, and apparently his ability to spot a con. I had her transfer what little she had left, around $70,000, into an account I said was a temporary holding fund. Guess who opened that account? That's right, me. Now, I didn't touch the money right away. No. I wanted her to think everything was working. For months, I sent fake update emails from my so-called financial contact, telling her we were close to retrieving the offshore assets. Meanwhile, she was living it up again, rented another condo, hosted wine nights, kept acting like she was still rich. Every Instagram post of her holding a mimosa just made my day better. Then, one afternoon, I called her from a burner number. "Lydia, there's a problem," I said, sounding panicked. "The recovery firm throws the account for review." "What? What does that mean?" "It means," I said slowly, "you need to be patient while they verify ownership." And then I ghosted her for 6 weeks. When I finally picked up again, she was hysterical. "Hannah, please, they said the account doesn't exist. What did you do?" I took a sip of coffee and said, "I handled it the same way you handled my inheritance. Responsibly." She went dead silent. I could hear her breathing, quick and shallow. Then, in this shaky voice, she whispered, "You're just like your father." "No," I said, smiling. "I'm just like you." I didn't keep all the money. I donated half to the Children's Cancer Center where my mom used to volunteer. The rest I used to grow my business and finally buy my own home, the one my dad always wanted me to have. Lydia's not doing so great. She's back in Charleston now, working the front desk at a cheap salon, still pretending it's just temporary. Her social media, gone. Her friends, ghosted. And that, my friend, is what happens when you build your castle out of lies and stolen bricks. Do I feel bad? Not one bit. She spent my inheritance, so I let her spend hers. Fair trade. I didn't expose her. I didn't humiliate her publicly. I just let her play herself. And then I took back what was mine with interest. So now I have to ask you, if someone stole everything your parents meant for you, your chance, your safety, your future, would you forgive them? Or would you wait, smile, and let them dig their own grave first? Drop your answer in the comments. Because sometimes karma doesn't need to hunt people down. It just borrows your face and walks right through their front door.